To change from one form to another, you need to be fluent in what all three forms represent. For example, this first question asks me to change something that's in y equals mx plus b, aka slope-intercept form, into something in standard form. We know that standard form looks like this. And you have to know the restrictions. A cannot be negative, and A, B, and C cannot be fractions. Standard form is the only form with those restrictions. Okay, so if I want to first take care of the A cannot be negative, first of all, I recognize that the x's and the y's are on the same side of the equation. Now, it doesn't matter if they're on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, they just need to be on the same side. I'm going to take care of that first. So I'm going to add 1/10 x to both sides. Now I have 1/10 x plus y equals 3. The a value, aka the number in front of the x, is positive. 1/10 is positive. So I have that first restriction taken care of. Secondly, I cannot have fractions. So what do I need to multiply by in order to get rid of this division by 10? I multiply by 10. So this becomes x plus 10y equals 30. And that is changed into standard form. Now notice on your packet, I mentioned that as long as it's in reduced form, we're okay. For example, if I had chosen to multiply 1/10 x plus y equals 3 by 40 instead of by 10, I now have 4x plus 40y equals 120. This would not be considered in simplest form because you can see that they're all divisible by 4, which means x plus 10y equals 30 is the simplest form of standard form. As long as I use the simplest form, aka these coefficients are not commonly divisible by something, then you'll get the exact same form as anyone else who's putting it into standard form. Okay, let's try changing point slope into slope-intercept form. Again, you need to know what the forms look like. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M can be a fraction, it can be negative, because we have slopes that are positive or negative. They can be fractions or not. And b, the y-intercept, can be a fraction, it can be negative, it can be any number that we want. So, there aren't those restrictions to deal with. All I need to do is get rid of the parentheses in point slope form. To do that, I distribute. So now I have y minus 3 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Then I also need to isolate the y. So I need to get the y all by itself. To do that, I add 3. So now I know that y equals 1/2 x plus 6. Anyone who changes anything into slope-intercept form will have to get the exact same equation, no matter what. Let's try changing point slope into standard form. Again, standard form is ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are not fractions, and a is positive. So, let's begin by distributing. Because there are no parentheses in standard form, so I need to get rid of them. Okay. I also know that the x and the y need to be on the same side, and that's all that's on that side. So no 5. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to move the x to the left-hand side. I now have 2/3 x plus y equals 8/3 minus 5. Now in order to put these two together, I need a common denominator. So that will become a -7 over 3. And lastly, I need to deal with the fractions. There cannot be a fraction, so I need to multiply by 3, which is the common denominator, so that I get 2x plus 3y equals negative 7. And there it is in standard form.